This is the lesson talking about solving two-step equations. Solving two-step equations. So number one on this paper, we have 2d plus 10 equals 16. There are two sides of every equation. The sides are split by the equal sign in the middle. So this is the middle, and what I do on one side, I have to do the same thing on the other side of the equal sign. So in this case, I have one variable. It's a variable because it has a letter with it. This one does not have a letter, so this is called a constant. And the 16 is also a constant because there's no variable, there's no letter. Okay, so I want this letter D to be alone. So my answer will be D equals and then a number. So I want the D alone. That means I have to remove or get rid of the 2 and the positive 10. We always move the things that are not variables first when there's only one variable here, because we don't want this 10 to be with the variable. It's a positive 10, so we're going to subtract 10, and what we do on one side, we have to do the same thing on the other side to keep the equation balanced. This gives us 0 on the left side. We still have 2d. 16 minus 10 is 6. Okay, now here, the 2 and the d are connected, so we want to divide them apart. We don't want them to be together anymore. So we're going to divide both sides by 2. This gives us a 1. 1d is the same as d. These are the same. 1d is the same as d. So on the other side, we have 6 divided by 2, which is 3. So my variable is alone now, and I have d equals 3. That's my answer. The d is equal to 3. On this one, it's the same thing, different numbers. So on this one, I'm going to, since it's a negative 4 or a minus 4, I add 4 to both sides of the equal sign. This gives me 0. I still have negative 2x. And over here I have 8 plus 4, which is 12. Again, I want to divide the 2 and the x. I don't want them to be connected anymore. So I'm going to divide by negative 2 because that's the number that's being multiplied by the x. These will cancel and give me 1. 1x is the same as x. 12 divided by negative 2 is negative 6. So x is equal to negative 6. This third one is the same. I want to remove or take away this negative 24. Since it's negative, I'm going to add it to both sides. This is 0. I have a 4s. This is equal to 4 plus 24, which is 28. At this point, I need to divide apart the 4 and the s, so I'm going to divide them. This equals 1s. 28 divided by 4 equals 7. Divided by is this symbol. When we have a bar, that means division. This bar or line means division. Okay, so 7 is our final answer. Again, this one is the same. We have a positive 9, so we're going to subtract 9. 0. So I have 3x is equal to negative 3 minus 9 is negative 12. And I want to divide apart the 3 and the x. So x equals negative 4. This is the same. We have the x here. It's a positive 4, so I'm going to subtract 4. I'm not afraid of fractions. 10 minus 4 equals 6. When I have a fraction, when I divide by a fraction, I multiply by the reciprocal, or I flip it and I multiply. So I do it on this side also. So see, the 5 was on the bottom, now I multiply it on the top and on the top. And over here also, 5 over 3, 5 over 3. These gives me 15 divided by 15, which will cancel or equal 1. I still have the x. 6 divided by 3 is 2. 2 multiplied by 5 is 10. So 10 is my final answer. And on the last one, I have perimeter, which means I have two sides that are 2x plus 3 and two sides that are 3x. So I have a perimeter, or if I add all the sides, I have 2 plus 3 plus 2 plus 3. That gives me 10 x's. 3 plus 3 is 6. And it says that my perimeter is 66. So I'm going to solve again. Here's my variable. I'm going to subtract 6. And divide by 10. So I have x equals 6. And I'm finished.